Assalamualaikum, my name is Bayu Arya Putri binti Muhammad Faizal and my student number is 2021853988.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Ilyani Shaira Muhammad with the student ID 2021853558.
Hi, my name is Rania Shafini binti Badrosha. My student ID 2021853618.
Hi, my name is Nur Ali Ariana. My ID number is 2021869146.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Azrin Tarmizi bin Tapa. My student number is 2021856504.
In this presentation, there will be 6 things that we will be covering. First, we have an introduction to our chosen company, which is Emirates Airlines. Next, we will discuss the challenges faced by Emirates Airlines in the era of COVID-19. We will also be covering the ethical issues faced by Emirates Airlines, and we will also touch on the efforts that were done to overcome the challenges faced. We will also discuss Emirates Airlines' corporate social responsibility and its impact on society. Once all these have been touched on, we will bring you to the conclusion of our presentation. Assalamualaikum, my name is Bayu Arya Putri and I'll be presenting my part of this presentation, which is the introduction to Emirates Airlines. Emirates Airlines is an airline that originated from Dubai, United Arab Emirates, UAE. The founder of this airline is none other than Sheikh Maktoum bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Dubai's then UAE Minister of Defense and a member of Dubai's progressive royal family. The airline was launched in 1985. Emirates Airlines belongs to the Emirates Group, which consists of DNETA, their own aviation services company, and Emirates Airlines that serves air transportation to over 150 destinations. Continuing on from the previous part, I would like to present the history of Emirates Airlines. In 1984, the airline company Gulf Air had cut back on its services to Dubai due to a disagreement of the abandonment of its open skies policy between Gulf Air and the Dubai government. This caused fewer flights from and into Dubai. To overcome this issue, Sheikh Maktoum bin Rashid Al Maktoum had asked Sir Maurice Flanagan, the then managing director of Dubai National Air Travel Agency, DNADA, to look into starting an airline. Later on in 1985, Emirates Airlines was launched by Maurice Flanagan with the help of the royal family of Dubai. The airline was required to operate independently without the use of government subsidies. In 1985, Emirates Airlines operated its first ever flights from Dubai to Karachi and Mumbai with wet-leased aircraft from Pakistan International Airlines. In 1987, Emirates Airlines was able to own their very first owned aircraft and flew it from Toulouse to Dubai. In the early 1990s, Emirates Airlines became one of the fastest growing airlines with a revenue of $100 million each year. Due to the Gulf War in 1991, Emirates Airlines could surge and allow the expansion of their business. With the growth of Emirates Airlines, they were able to open up 4 terminals at Dubai International Airport. Continuing on from the next part, I will be presenting some of the awards won by Emirates Airlines. In 2014, Emirates Airlines was named the world's most valuable airline brand. This award was awarded by Skytrax World Airlines. In 2016, Emirates Airlines was given the award World's Best Airline by Skytrax World Airlines. Next, I will be presenting the organizational structure of Emirates Airlines. Emirates Airlines uses a hierarchical organizational structure whereby the chain of command goes from the top to the bottom. On the top of the organizational structure in Emirates is the Chief Executive and Chairman, Sheikh Ahmad bin Said Al Maktoum. And below the Chief Executive is the President of Emirates, Tim Clark. Followed by the company's Board of Directors, which consists of Adel Ahmad Al Reda, the Chief Operating Officer, Adnan Kazim, the Chief Commercial Officer, Abdul Aziz Al Ali, the Executive Vice President of Human Resources, Ali Mubarak Al Suri, the Executive Vice President of Project Management, and Michael Dursum, the Chief Financial Officer. This is the organization chart of Emirates Airlines.
My name is Nur Ali Arena and I will explain briefly in the challenges faced by Emirates Airlines in the era of this COVID-19 pandemic. The first one is financial loss. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Emirates Group faces financial losses. In June 2021, Emirates reported a 5.5 billion loss due to the COVID-19 disrupting global travel. As this happened, the business had to face a non-profitable year as they could only make a smaller amount of profit compared to years before. This highlights the damage caused by the coronavirus to the global world aviation sector. As a result, they had to raise debt amid pandemics. This is an aggressive cost management effort to be taken in order to safeguard the business. This large net profit impact leads to the business receiving government aid in order to sustain its operations. Next, Emirates Group could not afford to pay employees. In March 2020, Emirates took a step for cost reduction measures to encourage employees to take paid or unpaid leave in light of reduced flying capacity. So many cabin crews, pilots, and other workers in the group have to take a step down from their careers due to the pandemic. As Emirates faces a vast amount of financial loss, they are not able to pay the employees. Emirates Group, a state-owned holding company that counts Emirates Airlines among its assets, had more than 100,000 employees, including more than 21,000 cabin crew and 4,000 pilots at end of March 2019, the end of its last financial year. The slowdown in the business marks the need for flexibility in how the airline has to be operated. Lastly, this COVID-19 pandemic has taken toll in the increasing of procedure taken for passengers' safety. In October 2021, in order to reduce the spread of coronavirus, the Emirates Group needs systematic aviation consultation to resume operations to handle the procedures of passengers landing and taking off from flights. A lot of management measures were taken in response to COVID-19, but the implementation of new policies and practices takes time to coordinate. This is to allow traveling in the pandemic safely. These procedures need to be carried out to control and manage the risk of the COVID-19 pandemic. A massive challenge for this operation is to have skilled employees to support the procedures and operations. This requires the normal standard on the flight and at the airport operation to be stricter to control the spread of the disease. The failure of managing this operation will widen the reach of coronavirus across the world.
Hello, I'm Azrin. Right now I will talk about ethical issues faced by Emirates Airlines. There are two ethical issues. The first is the UAE bans people from African countries, and the second is post-COVID recruitment is becoming a headache. So the first one is the UAE bans people from African countries. According to Mark Finlay from the article Emirates suspends flights to 3 African countries, Emirates Airlines has banned 7 African countries, which is South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Lesotho, and Eswatini. The ban was implemented not on racial issues, but they were concerned about a new variant of the COVID-19 virus, dubbed by the WHO as Omicron. Neighbors in the UAE, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia have also banned all flights from the above countries and said the ban will remain until more about the new strain is known. This suggests that Emirates Airlines had to implement the ban to prevent passengers from those countries from being infected with the latest variant of the COVID-19 virus. The second ethical issue is post-COVID recruitment is becoming a headache. In an interview with Tim Clark, president of Emirates Airlines, he revealed that recruiting new staff has become a headache post-COVID. In 2020, Emirates had slashed numbers of employees during the COVID-19 pandemic to reduce costs. However, with the rising numbers of customers traveling again, airlines are in the midst of recruiting staff again. Emirates is currently doing a significant recruitment drive and aims to enlist 2,500 more people in 6 months. However, in this interview, airline's president Tim Clark states that the significant recruitment is falling behind and is not as easy as it seems. He also revealed that during the COVID-19, quite several senior pilots had quit their jobs, leading to a shortage of pilots. President Tim Clark stated that they are having difficulty recruiting pilots with the same experience as a senior pilot. Due to the Delta variant, they also had to slow down their recruitment process to protect their other staff. Tim Clark reveals that it is a headache. However, they are hoping to be able to recruit more staff soon.
Efforts done to overcome the challenges faced are providing medical advice, implementation of practices at the airport, and provide an expanded global materials travel insurance. Firstly, providing medical advice. Emirates Airlines bounced back from their problem and restart their business to recover from the financial loss problem. Even they reopen their business, they still care about the safety and well-being of the customer. Medical advice is essential for everyone. This matter emphasized by Emirates while conducting their business. Emirates takes this action to make sure all the passengers are safe and control the transmission of COVID-19. Emirates also liaises with international and local health organizations to ensure all the staff and passengers follow the guidelines truthfully. This method is also to ensure no spread of the virus during flight operation. Secondly, implementation of practices at the airport. Emirates set a management to customer to follow when travel using Emirates Airlines. They sanitize the entire place at the airport to prevent the spread of the virus. Emirates made hygiene kits to provide to customer while using their services. The hygiene kits contain masks, gloves, antibacterial wipes, and hand sanitizer. Glove and face masks are mandatory for all aircraft passengers. This hygiene kit has been given to all passengers before entering the aircraft, and they must use it while in the airplane. Lastly, provides an expanded global materials travel insurances. Emirates provide any class of insurances travel such as flexibility and assurances. Emirates also set management at every step of customer journey to ensure that they safely arrive at their destination. They provide separate entrance and exits so that the place is not crowded and passengers do not congregate in too crowded place because it is dangerous. These are some pictures of Emirates Airlines staff conducting safety management, and following the picture will be a video on how Emirates Airlines sanitize the plane before allowing passengers on board.
Airline corporate social responsibility and the impact on the society. Emirates Airline Foundation is dedicated to transforming lives in terms of the humanity. They support the most deserving social causes to solve the issues. Focuses mainly on programs which are underprivileged children and also ensure donations to create significant impact. The Emirates Airline Foundation was first launched on the 25th of February 2003. They have touched many lives of people across the globe. One of their projects was the Externado São Francisco de Assis, which was held in the Aracaju, Brazil. The school provides a full-time education, mostly from a single-parent families and also facing the financial difficulties. Besides that, they also provide 3 daily meals and also recreational and extracurricular activities. During the coronavirus pandemic, there are changes in groups of activities and also might be suspended due to safety precautions. Previously mentioned activities have begun to resume usually as the restrictions start to ease. There are several activities that the children participate in. Those activities are group learning and play, walks along the natural environment, gardening, and painting. The challenges that were faced during the pandemic are children experience emptiness in terms of social realities and also financial difficulties faced by their families. This brings gratitude among the children for the institution meals they receive every day. Last but not least, it makes them feel thankful and appreciative for the healthy food they receive.
With all that has been presented, we come to the conclusion of our presentation. It can be seen that COVID-19 has indeed impacted Emirates' business. However, despite the challenges that were faced, they were able to overcome these challenges with their efforts and planning on how to run their business in the COVID-19 pandemic. Through this presentation, we can see that Emirates Airlines prioritizes their passengers' well-being and safety. We hope that other airlines have an opportunity to look into the steps that have been taken by Emirates Airlines to allow the continuation of their business in this global pandemic. This is the end of our presentation. As the leader of Group 7, I would like to say thank you on behalf of my group members for tuning into our presentation.